Skylanders first launched way back in 2011, and with that came a plethora of Skylanders figurines. But of course, the life cycle ended in 2016 with the last game Imaginators. In early 2023, a post on the Skylanders Reddit was uploaded, showing 2 prototype Skylanders from the game Vicarious Visions were working on. We know these are from Skylanders 7 because they were previously found in Crash Insane Trilogy's files. Vicarious Visions were probably working on this Skylanders project after completing Superchargers, and then got reworked into Insane Trilogy. The rabbit-looking figure is called Dust Bunny, and the hockey guy is labeled as Slap Rock. There is also another Skylander named Riding Hood, but this doesn't actually have a physical prototype. These all had movesets and are playable in Insane Trilogy. Dust Bunny's weapon shoots out a hairball and can suck in air just like Jetpack, and another attack where they do some sort of jump attack, and lastly has an attack that launches out a carrot that lands where the target area is. Slap Rock's attacks are pretty cool. There's one where he like phases. He also has an attack where I assume you hold the button down and it shoots out an ice blast. Riding Hood's attacks are really cool. They have combos with the wolf, which the animations just look awesome, and an attack where they just throw their axe, and then a charge attack. This game was set in the Skylanders universe, and it was a team-based multiplayer PvP game. It was online only and without a single player option. That's pretty much everything we know of the Vicarious Visions Skylanders 7 game. Now moving on, Heartbreaker Buckshot is an infamous scrap Skylander. Heartbreaker Buckshot was an in-game variant that was planned to be released near Valentine's 2017, but however he did not see the light of day and was scrapped early on in the figure design process. The developers agreed that the design was too demonic for the target audience of Skylanders fans at that time. Heartbreaker Buckshot was never officially released, but that doesn't mean it did not get any figures. Heartbreaker Buckshot got at least 12 produced figures, some with working chips and some that don't. Throughout the time I've been talking about Heartbreaker, you've been watching gameplay. Yes, this is my gameplay, and no, you cannot put him on NFC cards. Skylanders Shapeshifters was what Skylanders SWAT Force wanted to be. Vicarious Visions was working on Shapeshifters before SWAT Force, but was ultimately scrapped due to being too complicated for the target audience. Like the swappers, the Shapeshifters could also swap, but not just their tops and bottoms, but also their heads and arms. We know of 3 Shapeshifters: Aftershock, Breezewing, and Kraken. Breezewing's attacks would include blowing wind, slashing her claws, and throwing her tail like a boomerang. Aftershocks would include smashing the ground with his mace fists, and also rolling in a ball, like Scorp. Kraken's attacks were blowing bubbles with his fish hand, and also had electricity attacks. These attacks all seem very familiar to exist in Skylanders. Vicarious Visions reused their attacks for Skylanders like Fist Bump, Scorp, Punk Shock, and Washbuckler. There is also gameplay of Kraken and an early version of Mudwater Hollow. I uploaded this gameplay as a short a few years ago, but I'll show it in this video too. This gameplay is from a GDC presentation done by Vicarious Visions and is very low quality as I had to zoom in. But this is probably the only Shapeshifters gameplay on the internet, and as much as I love SWAT Force, I would have loved Shapeshifters even more. It is such a cool concept. Skylanders Superchargers has a ton of scrap Skylanders, but not too much information is known about them. Brick Girl, Cauldron, Bull Train, and Gargoyle were found in the files of Superchargers and are playable by modding and character swapping. Cauldron and Brick Girl were not as finished as the other 2, using templates models. Bull Train had such a great design, and it's unfortunate he got scrapped in development. I would have loved to play as him. Gargoyle was a developer favorite, but Vicarious Visions could not fit him into the roster. Like the other scrap Skylanders, they also had attacks. Brick Girls consists of throwing bricks, using a brick wall for a defensive attack, and can punch enemies. Cauldron could roll, summon friends that heal him, and somehow deal damage when waving at enemies. But in all seriousness, he probably would have thrown an object at the enemies. Bull Train could use their fist to punch, release steam, and place down railroad tracks and turn into a train to run across enemies. Lastly, Gargoyle could spray his water breath, turn into a statue for temporary immunity, and summon fountains that deal damage. Bull Train and Gargoyle would have been really cool Skylanders to play as, but I don't really see the vision for Brick Girl. Her design is really cool though. Cauldron still exists though in Superchargers. He is an enemy in the level Vault of the Ancients. He also made a reappearance in the Sensei Dark Realm from Imaginators. Also, there was a planned Dark Stormblade which was found in Skylanders Imaginators files. Quite sad to hear since Stormblade is one of my favorite Skylanders from Superchargers. Gearhead Windup is a Vicarious Visions developer Skylander that has like 4 times damage and health in Superchargers and Imaginators. He can also be played in SWAT Force but without the 4 times health or damage. But fun fact about Vicarious Visions Windup, he wasn't supposed to be in Imaginators, accidentally ported over when Toys for Bob switched to VV's engine. Sniper isn't really a scrap Skylander but more of a test character. but he's still very mysterious. He was found in the files of Skylanders Giants. He is also known to be in the Giants alphas. He must have been left over. He possesses 3 attacks, his first being firing his gun, the second being a claymore type weapon that explodes on impact, and the third allows him to burrow into the ground and snipe enemies. In SSA and Giants, Debug Minion is probably the most OP Skylander ever. He can insta-kill anything, teleport, and even switch element. She was used for internal use. She was supposed to be removed from the final versions, but Toys for Bob forgot about her, I suppose. And no, there was no toys made for her, so only used on NFC cards by the devs. Here we have Template Legacy, Template's older brother, or younger brother, I don't know. Originally found in the leaked Wii SWAT Force Alpha, but can be played in the final release of SWAT Force. Just look at this guy, no one wants to mess around with him. He even crashes your game if you check his upgrades. Officer is a Jetvac lookalike. Reusing Jetvac's model just in a green tone, he has a completely original moveset. His first attack shoots his gun, he has a shotgun and a sniper, all gun type abilities. Officer doesn't even have a walk animation and just kind of slides across the floor. Series 4 and Eon's Elite Cinder was planned to be released in Trap Team. Series 4 Cinder has a toy made, which most people have seen in a Toy Fair video. Although she is a Series 4, she does not have a WoW POW and has a fake WoW POW. Unlike Cinder, Series 2 Flash Ring was also planned, and she does have an official WoW POW, which unfortunately does not work in-game. Trailblazer was also supposed to get some variant of some kind. Baldi is a pre-built Imaginator that remained in the files of Imaginators. He uses Imaginator parts that aren't accessible in the final game. He is stuck at level 20 and is a Magic Knight class. He's also invincible, no enemy attacks can kill him. He has the basic Magic Knight class attacks, and you cannot upgrade him. Just like Template Legacy, Template is another goofy Skylander. As his name suggests, he is a template for the swappers for the VV developers to use for creating a new swapper. He has 3 attacks which all don't deal any damage. He's basically a walking punching bag. He's only playable in the Vicarious Visions Engines games. For more info on this guy, I recommend watching Boomerang's video. Test Titan, aka Crypt King in later games, was found in the files of Build 1 of Giants. He is in a very unfinished state, only being able to pick up boulders and walk around. Lastly, just before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to speak about some misinformation that a lot of people in the community think is real. This image of Snapshot aka Bullseye with Giants UI is Skylanders Trap Team, a very early build of Trap Team. Toys for Bob reused things from Giants when the game started development. The UI wasn't finalized. Also, the figure prototype is from September 2014. Not sure why it uses a yellowish base, but probably one of the first prototypes printed. Anyways, what do you think of Skylanders 7 and these scrap Skylanders? Tell me down below. Thank you all for watching and definitely subscribe if you're new around here. I'll see you all in my next video.